ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भुरिदा जनाः. Let us resume our discussion on Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual discourses with his intimate devotees in the house of Girish Chandra Ghosh in North Kolkata, where Sri Ramakrishna went from Dakshineshwar on his way to witness the theatre of Brishaketu, the Star Theatre of Brishaketu. In those days, the Star Theatre was located in Bidden Street, which is the Minerva Theatre in North Kolkata. And on his way, he stopped over at the house of Girish Chandra Ghosh, and there was a discussion on religious topics. The past few weeks, we have been discussing this topic, which is very relevant in view of the present social strife of casteism. Unfortunately, even now, there is a lot of caste conflict, jati bhed, which haunts the life of the devotees and spiritual aspirants. Sri Ramakrishna said the goal of human life is to see God. Now, the goal is same for everyone. He didn't discriminate. However, there are many social restrictions and instructions saying that no, it is meant for only a particular class of privileged people. So, in this discussion, fortunately, the same controversy was raised. Let us recapitulate. Sri Ramakrishna was telling to the brother of Girish Chandra Ghosh. Atul Chandra Ghosh was a lawyer in Calcutta High Court, and his instruction was, since you are a householder, you do both this and that. That is, you continue your worldly duties and also call on God. So there are two classes of people in the society. One is the householders, another is the sannyasin. Now, usually it used to be considered that the householders are the part-timers and the sannyasins are the full-timers. Because sannyasins have no other job but to call on God, whereas the householders have a lot of household duties, and whatever time remains, they will devote for spiritual practices. Now, this idea is wrong. After the advent of Sri Ramakrishna, this differentiation has been broken forever. As Sister Nivedita puts it in the words of Swami Vivekananda, there is no difference between secular and sacred. Previously used to be considered that the householders had a secular job, samsaric karma, vaishayik vyapar, that is something else, and there is adhyatmic sadhan, spiritual practice. There is another chapter of the life. One aspect of life is spend some time in the shrine, Thakur Ghar, japa, meditation, prayer, puja, etc. There is one part of my life, a spiritual practice, and the remaining part is to take care of our household responsibilities, samsaric karma. But Sri Ramakrishna says there is nothing like samsaric karma. Everything is the work of God, as has been demonstrated by Sima Sharda Devi. From morning till night, continuously she is busy. She is busy in sweeping floors, cooking food, and serving the devotees. Everything is a spiritual practice, and also doing japam and meditation in the shrine. So we have to view our life in that way. It's a holistic view of life, that from morning till night, whatever you do, it is a spiritual practice. Sometimes it is in the form of prayer, japa, meditation, puja, and sometimes in the form of doing what? As a service. The pujari, the monk who is engaged in the temple, now he is doing the puja, the worship of Sri Ramakrishna. This is an activity. This activity is a spiritual practice. It is not something else other than the spiritual discipline. Similarly, whatever work we are doing is also a puja. As Swami Vivekananda says, puja tar sangram apar, govuna dwarak toma. চূর্ণ হোক স্বার্থ সাধ মান নাচুক তাহাতে শ্যামা. Give up all your likings, your selfish interest, and surrender your will to the work you are engaged in, and that is your worship. Work is worship. Primarily, we begin the journey as work and worship. Puja evam karma. Later on, when you develop our mentality, then we do work as worship. You change your mentality, you do the work as if it is your worship. And then finally it becomes work is worship. Puja hi karma hai, karma hi upasana hai. Now in this train, everybody, whatever this differentiation between householder and sannyasi is broken. And Sri Ramakrishna, he practiced this discipline. Not only said, it has already been discussed in our past several classes, that Sri Ramakrishna not only said this, that the householders will also be able to realize God, he remained as a householder till the last day of his life with his wife. So he was the sannyasi chudamani, the highest example of renunciation, that having the Vedantic sannyas from Totapuri on the one hand, and also he got married and continued his married life till the end of his life. So 2 in 1 is unparalleled in the history of the world, that a person remains a householder and a sannyasi simultaneously, and illustrates the height of the discipline in each field. Ideal householder and ideal sannyasi. Now that differentiation is broken. The second differentiation is our heredity. It's a great differentiation. Now there are certain gurus, dharma gurus, who come from the lower castes, and they proclaim that the dharma, though they say the same language, but they are considered more favorable by the lower caste people. One of them is Ravidas. Then there are other people from the lower caste who are the dharma gurus and accepted greatly by the people of all categories. On the other hand, there is the gurus from the highest origin, and they are considered the gurus of all. And incidentally, they mostly belong to the higher caste people, like the acharyas, Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya. So these are the great acharyas. And Sri Chaitanya Dev down to Sri Ramakrishna, everybody was a Brahmin. They belong to higher caste. So naturally there is a doubt whether the God realization is possible for lower caste people. So this question was asked point blank to Sri Ramakrishna. It's good for us. Sri Ramakrishna resolved this question, or else this controversy would still continue. So when he said that Atul also will be able to realize God, then there is a Brahmin, there is one Brahmin present in that congregation. He asked point blank this question, that how that is possible. अतुल हाई कोर्ट के वकील है. श्री रामकृष्ण अतुल से कहा, आप लोग से यही कहता हूँ, आप दोनों करें, संसार धर्म भी करें और जिससे भक्ति हो वो भी करें. डू बोथ. भक्ति का आराधना भी करो, संसार भी करो. देयर इज नो हार्म. एक ब्राह्मण पड़ोसी वहाँ बैठे हैं, वो कहते हैं, क्या ब्राह्मण ना होने से मनुष्य सिद्ध होता है? इज इट पॉसिबल फॉर ए पर्सन हु इज नॉट ए ब्राह्मण, लोअर कास्ट, कैन ही रियलाइज गॉड? नो. श्री रामकृष्ण का उत्तर है, क्यों? कलियुग में शूद्र की भक्ति की कथाएं हैं. शबरी, रविदास, गुहल, चंडाल इत्यादि, ये सब है. He gives counter examples. This point we have been discussing at length, and now the परिष्कार श्री रामकृष्ण ने बताया. Now let us come down to the question which still haunts our mind. It is necessary to resolve it once for all. A lot of political activity is also going on. The question was, ब्राह्मण ना होले की सिद्ध है? This is the question. Can anyone but a Brahmin achieve perfection? Point blank question. And his reply is, কেন কলিতে শূদ্রের ভক্তির কথা আছে? শবরী, রুইদাস, গুহক, চাণ্ডাল এসব আছে. Why should you ask that? It is said that in Kali Yuga the Sudras achieve love for God. There are the instances of Shabari, Ruhidas, the untouchable Guhak and others. Now, why I am considering this particular life of Ruhidas? Because Sri Ramakrishna has given his endorsement about the wonderful achievement of Sant Ravidas. Now, since we are in UP, and these saints were born not very far ago, about 400 to 500 years ago. They hail from UP, and their message and life has penetrated into the very root of the society. Ruidas, Kabir Das, they're all belonging to UP, and then Guru Nanak is also a contemporary, and there are several monks of this stature has penetrated into the very root of the society, and by their exalted life and message, they are still very popular and active. So if you understand their ethos, then it will be easier for us to understand the message of Sri Ramakrishna. If you know the background, in which background Sri Ramakrishna is saying, not calling from heaven, all these great personalities of the country have been acknowledged by Sri Ramakrishna. Now, for the past few weeks we have been discussing about the life of Ravidas. There is a controversy. Naturally, these persons were not, they didn't have that blazing, his arrival. He was a cobbler, chamar, with us. Even now, we have a scornful look and attitude to a cobbler, chamar, are. So now, being born as a chamar, he became a dharma guru of the highest order, and he remained as a chamar to the last day of his life to demonstrate that even while making a shoe, you can be closest to the divine. His life is the message, apart from his sayings. His life is demonstrated, and it is a long life. There is a controversy whether he lived for 125 years or 151 years. Nevertheless, it is a lot of research has shown that probably he was born in 1414 and lived till 1540. 126 years, it is told. He is a contemporary of Kabir, Guru Nanak. Now, this chamar, this cobbler, was so exalted that his sayings are included in Guru Granth Sahib. Guru Granth Sahib is the book which is considered the God in a book form. As we worship Chandi in our tradition, Chandi is worshipped, literally worshipped. She is Chandi, and it is recited. Similarly, after the 10th Guru, the culmination of the Guru is in Guru Granth Sahib, the book. The verses of the book are considered to be words of God. And several verses of the Guru Granth Sahib is the sayings of Guru Ravidas. Even the Sikhs give such a huge standing order, then it is considered that Mirabai was initiated by Sant Ravidas. We have discussed this. Mirabai, the princess of Rajasthan, she got initiated by Ravidas and got the kripa of Govinda. She was very much hurt to see that his Guru is earning his bread by making shoes. So she insisted that jewels may be kept with him, and for the amount received from that jewel may give his sustenance. Ravidas refused. Mirabai kept that valuable treasure hidden on the rooftop of Ravidas and went. And after some years, she came back and found it staying there as it is. Ravidas did not touch. A powerful message Ravidas gives, and he had we have discussed, lot of miraculous performance was done. Though Ravidas didn't like at all to show miracle. So Now we have already discussed the gist of his message. Gist of his message was to repeat the name of God and continue your work, whatever is given by God. The same thing as Sri Ramakrishna says. So the message of Sri Ramakrishna is an echo of the previous Dharma Gurus who have exalted our land. We must know the life of Ravidas is not so much popular among the devotees of Ramakrishna. But if we study his life and philosophy, we will be able to understand the message of Sri Ramakrishna much better. Now, the message of Ravidas, उनका संदेश, is based on 10 points, 10 बिंदुओं पर आधारित है उनके जीवन का संदेश, and which is incidentally very close to whatever Sri Ramakrishna says. The first message is same as what Sri Ramakrishna was never tired of saying. मानव जीवन का उद्देश्य है. First point, when you want to do something, the first thing you have to decide what is your destination. Unfortunately, most of us lead a life without any clear understanding of what we really want. No understanding. We just lead a life as a stereotype way, as others are doing. We have to be born, we have to get a job, we have to do the household duties, and one day we die. The first thing to do is to know what is my destination. When you go to a station and want to board a train or a plane, the first thing the counter clerk will ask, where do you want to go? What is your destination station? You have to pronounce. If you do not know, you stand by. You cannot board any train and go here and there and waste your time. We must have a clear understanding what we are after here. In this life, what you want. Most people say that I want to study, I want to get an examination, I get a degree, I have to get a job. But these are all temporary goals. When you get a degree, then what next? Is that all? No. So whatever destination we have fixed, it is only an intermediary destination, a stepping stone. When you want to go to the top floor, first floor cannot be your destination. First floor is a way to reach the ultimate goal. Ultimate destination has to be pronounced, kept in our mind, reserved. The final goal, where you want to go in this life, achievable. So naturally, everybody will say we want to, the devotees, they will say we want to reach God. We want to see God. Next question is the when. So when I give a personal, we usually do not give personal anecdotes, but for the consumption of our intimate devotees, I will tell you that when I was a student in North America, I was studying and I wanted to become a monk. Then I met Swami Muktinathanandaji, who came there from Hollywood, California. I was very impressed with his personality. And then he asked me that, what do you want in your life? I said, I want to realize God. He said, fine. He said, when? When do you want to realize God? How many years you have at your disposal? Is there any time limit? I said, yes. He said, how long you want to realize God? I said, 30 years. He said, well, 30 years is a long time, but that's all, hold it to it. This sort of quantification is necessary. When do you want? is this life or a future life. The most people will say that I want to realize God, but I know it is not possible to realize God in this life because I do not have the qualification. That is the usual reply you will ask. 9 out of 10 people will reply, I want to realize God, but I know that it cannot be done in this life. The problem is, at the beginning of the test, we disqualify ourselves. We have marked the paper before the examination starts. And if we fail ourselves, nobody can pass. Now, when Sri Ramakrishna is saying that goal of human life is God realization for all, he is not setting an unfeasible target for us. He did not qualify. Sri Ramakrishna did not say that goal of the monks is to realize God and goal of householders is to be reborn. He never said. We are disqualifying ourselves. That is the whole difficulty in our life. First thing we have to set our goal, what Ravidas also says. Be very clear about the goal of your life. Sri Ramakrishna not only has asked, he has fixed our goal. That is, God, not only he says God realization, he is more specific. ঈশ্বর দর্শন হি মানুষ জীবনের উদ্দেশ্য. That is his original word. The goal of life is to see God. See God. Now, this seeing God is also to be understood properly. Because this question was asked by Narendranath, Swami Vivekananda, when he was a boy, to Sri Ramakrishna. The first question he asked, আপনি ঈশ্বরকে দেখেছেন? Have you seen God? পরিষ্কার. You are saying goal of life. He said, yes, I have seen. First man he found, he asked this question to many people. He didn't get a direct point blank answer. He asked this question to Maharishi Devendranath Thakur, the father of Rabindranath. He was considered to be a God realized soul, which was confirmed by Sri Ramakrishna. That yes, he is a realized soul. But when this question was asked, Narendranath asked this question before he met Sri Ramakrishna. Devendranath Thakur, sir, have you seen God? What is the reply? He says, you have very large eyes, you will be able to see God. He told the truth. Narendranath saw God, but that did not satisfy Narendranath. It is an indirect reply. He did not get his reply from Devendranath, yes, I have seen. But here, Sri Ramakrishna was a person who replied point blank, yes, I have seen. And he qualifies. I have seen God more intimately than I see you now. That is, the vision of God takes place not in the conscious plane, but in superconscious plane. We interact with God not in this conscious level, but in a superconscious level, Ati Chetana Avastha. That is a different story, but he says that I have seen God as I have seen. And then he goes one step further. He says, not only I have seen, I can show you also. But all questions got resolved. Here is a person takes a challenge of his question and says, not only I have seen him more intently that I see you now, and I can show you also. So this is the goal set by Sri Ramakrishna for all of us, irrespective of our background. So let us not disqualify ourselves and accept this goal as our common goal of life. Whatever we are doing and achieving in the intermediary goal, we get a degree, pass an examination, get a job and earn money, do some duties as per the will of God. Ultimately the goal is to realize God. This is what the first thing Ravidas says, Paramatma ki prapti hi manav jivan ka mool uddeshya hai. Same thing as told by Sri Ramakrishna. Then he adds 3 more points. मानव जीवन की क्षण भंगुरता. Ravidas says that do not take it for granted that you are here forever. Your life is very brittle. Time is very limited. You don't think that you have a long, as Swamiji said, that Swahanandaji, be conscious about your time. Now, so here the Ravidas warns us that life is brittle. Life is not to be continued forever. So whatever you have to achieve, do it with all earnestness. Be that up and doing. Spend every moment of your life towards that goal. As Sri Ramakrishna used to pray at the end of every day, Mother, one more day has gone, yet I have not been able to see God. Yet I have not been able to see you. If goal of life is our ultimate goal, we should not forget. Setting a goal and forgetting is of no use. We have to remember the goal every moment, and before going to bed every day we must recount, this is my goal of life. Have I been able to see God till today? If not, let us pray to God so that I may see Him tomorrow. This sort of resolve should be there. Then only our life becomes spiritually oriented. A ship which is constantly navigated towards its goal, it reaches the goal destination quickly. For a ship, the destination, navigation, in those days, there was no GPS. Those days, the navigation was pole star, which indicates the north. So the ship, the captain used to look at the north pole star, north direction, and orient his ship accordingly. Similarly, our pole star is God. We have to orient our ship of life and drive it towards the goal. If it is going astray, we must redirect it. So this is thinking that we may not get a long lease of life. Whatever time remains, with up and doing, we must try to reach the goal. Third point, Ravidas says, Samsarik Maya Jal. We must acknowledge that the environment of this samsara is very deluding. It is, Maya is a magic, sammohan. Now what is the sammohan, the magic? The magic is that God alone is true and the world is not going to continue forever. ये जगत परिवर्तनशील है, क्षण भंगुर है. The God is eternal. भगवान हमारे साथ बराबर थे, अभी भी है, आगे भी रहेंगे. संसार में कोई वस्तु हमारा साथ बराबर नहीं रहने वाला है, टिकने वाला नहीं है. But the Maya is that we believe the people around us are going to stay us forever, will not die. This is the great wonder. This is Maya. This is Maya when the Jaksha, when in the Manavaskal, so the Jaksha was there to test the wit of the Pandavas. So he was sitting in the bank of a river, and when they become very thirsty, they went to fetch water. When they fetch water, then Daksha said, "Wait, please answer my question, or else you will fall dead." They didn't hear. So one by one, all the brothers went, Nakul, Sahadev, then that Arjuna, Bhima, everybody went. They didn't care and they became unconscious. So finally the turn of Yudhishthir came. He went and to fetch water, and then somebody was asking, "Please answer my question." Yudhishthir said, "Go ahead." "Okay. Or else you'll fall dead. Just see your brothers. They're all lying, unconscious. He said, all right. I know you are a spirit, you are asking a question, go ahead. He said, tell me, what is the most wonderful thing in his life? What is the great wonder? What is the greatest wonder of life in the world? Tell me. Then he said, Ahanya bhutani gachanti jama mandiram shesha sthirattam icchanti kim ascharjata param. Every day we see crores of people are dying. Gachanti jama mandiram. Every day we see. All our kith and kin, elders, they are coming and going. Nevertheless, those who are staying with me, around me, I believe they will never die. We will be alive forever. What greatest wonder can it be? Seeing everything day in and day out, we believe that we will not die. That is the tragedy of life. Ravidas says, be conscious and careful that this world is not going to last forever. So whatever time is remaining, try to make use of it as much as possible and as quickly as possible. And do your work in this world as a duty, but with the constant feeling and thought and consciousness that they will not going to stay for you forever. However painful this thought may be, it is very painful to think. It's very painful to accept the reality of life because we have been holding it till long. No, the people around me will never leave me. That is the most foolish thing to do. Do your work, but have your connection with God. As Sima Sharda Devi says in a very clear and simple language, Baba, জগতে ভালোবাসলে অনেক দুঃখ পেতে হয়, সংসারের কর্তব্য করে যাবে, কাউকে ভালোবেসো না. Do not love anybody in this world. It is very difficult to do, but that's why we suffer in life. We have plenty of love within us, but that is all wrongly directed. The love within us is meant to be given to God, who will stay for us forever. By mistake, we give it to the world and you get frustrated. This is the lesson you have to learn. Ravidas is saying that the samsara is mayajal, samsara is khanabhangur, and you have to offer your love to God and see Him as early as possible. At least try to have this attitude to see God every day. That is all. The rest depends on God. When He will reveal, it is up to Him. Are we ready to see Him? This question we must ask. Are we ready to see Him today? We say, no, we don't have time. This is why one song, Rabindranath says, যদি আমারও হৃদয় দুয়ারও বন্ধ রহে গো প্রভু, দ্বার ভেঙে তুমি এসো মোর প্রাণে ফিরিয়া যেও না কভু. Says that though I wish to receive you, but I have kept the door closed. So I am praying that even if my door closed, please don't go back. You break the door and come. But God does not break, He waits till He open the door. Why should He tell God to break the door and come? Let us open our door and wait for God. That is the sign of spirituality. And finally, in this point, Ravidas says, Manav Jivan ki sarthakata, Manav Jivan ka sarthakata is Paramatma ka darshan. We'll continue other points in our future classes. Niranjanam nityam ananta rupam bhaktanukampa vignaham vai Ishāvataram parameshamidhyam tam Ramakrishnam sirasa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Tomorrow is Holi Utsav. There will be, as usual, this morning Sankirtana, Hari Loot in the morning in the temple. Evening there will be a discussion on the life and message of Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya Dev, because tomorrow is also the Chaitanya Dev ka Janmadin. He was born on this particular day, Dol Purnima. And morning, of course, at 7:15, there will be a Vishesh Satprasang online on the significance of Holy Utsav. There will be broadcast in our YouTube channel. So let us close now with the chanting of the Lord. Please join with me. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. There will be Holika Dahan today after the evening Aarti, east of temple, where the effigy will be burnt. You are all welcome for Harinam Sankirtan there.